Hi guys, I'm going to get right to this. I woke up this morning, my wife says, hey, I'm making banana bread, which probably means something's wrong, right? And then she says, the sink is not working. So it was the faucet, wasn't working. It fell apart. It's a Moen single post, jumping right to how this works. This right here, this threaded piece, sticks out underneath your sink, under the hole where your faucet sits, okay? And a nut goes up this. A nut goes right up the threaded piece here. What you can imagine, first of all, there's a hose hanging off of this. This right here, for the sprayy part, is hanging off of there. There's two clips here. You push those together. That pops out. You're thinking you're going to have to push those together and pull it out. You don't need to just push those together. It's easy as pie. This comes off. Now you've still got this really long thing. The nut's way up here, holding it down. You still got this really long piece you have to get a socket on. The wonder of this is, this came with a socket probably. Some other people who posted similar ones online. It came with a big plastic socket for installing it. But unless the person who installed it before you, we bought this house, as the next owners, there have been many previous owners. Unless the person who installed it before you left that socket zip tied to it under the sink, you're not going to know where it is in the house. So you're going to need a deep socket to get on here. Or I asked for sockets. My wife brought me combination wrenches. I made fun of her. I shouldn't have. She brought me the right tool for the job. Combination wrench, the box end slips right over that. Only able to turn it about 1/10 of a turn, but that worked. This particular one was sized at 16 millimeters. It looked much smaller than that from way underneath the sink in the dark, but it was 16 millimeters. So I slid the box side over, got about 1/10 of a turn. It wouldn't turn anymore, and it wouldn't go over, but the open end fit on. So open end, box end, 2 or 3 times. Didn't even get a full turn out of it, but here's the other beauty of it. No water flows through that. Well, I'm sorry. Water does flow through that, but the tightness of the nut has nothing to do with keeping water inside of it. So the last person to install it just put it basically hand tight in 1/2 a turn. So once we broke the tension of it, I was able to turn it by hand, and you'll be able to turn it by hand too. So if you have a Moen single post, and you're under the sink, and you've taken it all apart and everything to try and figure out how to get it off, and you haven't been able to get it off, don't worry, that's how. One nut. Turn the water off, disconnect the hoses, clip is easy, can't reach it with your hands, use a little pair of pliers, pops right out, hose comes off, one nut is all it takes. So all you need is somebody like me, a nut, to get it off your sink. And then the whole thing pulls out. You might have to squeeze some hoses together, the whole thing pulls out, and then you can go to the store and buy a new one. And I suggest not getting another one that goes on like this. We picked up this one right here. It's a Pfizer, whatever. It's black. It's pretty. My wife tested it. It's working. So far, no drips under the sink. Fantastic. She hasn't tested whether the cold water's on the cold side and hot water's on the hot side yet. So the mystery will be solved later when we're cooking. Starting tomorrow, guys. I hope starting tomorrow. Starting this week, we'll be back to the videos on electronics and behind-the-scenes stuff for HFP and hanging out with Chaya and Johnny Pitchman. Maybe some stuff from New York, not really sure, but I was there. That's why there weren't any videos last week. Did get to visit B&H, one of the greatest photo stores and, basically fun parks in the world for people who like this stuff. Didn't buy anything, which turns out is a good thing because I came home and had to buy a faucet and repair a ceiling fan and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, for the people who are looking for the Moen thing, I got that nut out of the way right away at the beginning of the video. Hope that's helpful for you. There's another slightly more detailed video online. A lot more detail about how it broke and things that didn't work on it. But if you look that up, if you didn't get enough information from this, you can look that up. Hopefully get the other information you need. Jump about 5 to 10 minutes in to get to the part I just told you about, which is how you actually get the faucet out of your sink. Oh, and that special tool, don't rely on it coming in the next set. I thought, I'll just leave it on. I'll take it off when I buy the new one with the new, it'll have the same tool that I need, but it didn't because this went on completely differently. I personally think it went on much better, but I won't know if it really went on much better for about 4 or 5 years if it's still working. But it seems more put together. And I did want to show you, but I don't remember where I put it down now. The handle. Oh, I put it in here. This thing here is the handle for the white one. This handle for the white one is a very heavy piece of metal. It's got a piece of metal in there. This piece of metal goes over a piece of plastic. So every time you pull this up as a lever or push it down, and like this had just started dripping a little while ago, so we were pushing it down harder to try and get the drip to stop, it puts tension on that plastic, and it will break that piece of plastic, which is what happened and what I woke up to this morning. So, we'll see you guys tomorrow. More Inside HFP, and I'll be wearing a shirt, and probably have done my hair and stuff, and I won't be in a messy kitchen that I tore apart working on a sink, and now we'll leave for my wife to clean up. That's okay, right? You fix the sink, she cleans up. That's how that goes. That's marital bliss, right? Although I guess I'm responsible for putting tools away, so I should get to that. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.